Airdrops. We've all heard that ridiculously loud plane flyover. And we've probably all experienced some sort of hearing loss because of it. Even though we all hate the sound of that stupid plane flying over, most of us can't resist that shiny beacon of loot falling from the sky. Now, I'll be honest, when airdrops first came into the game, I definitely tried my luck at claiming a few of them, but as time has passed, I've started to care less and less about them. Every wipe, I have a collection of these red flares that I never end up using, and that got me thinking, are these airdrops actually worth fighting over these days? I decided I was going to shoot off 5 of these red flares, take the loot worth taking, and make a simple spreadsheet that shows how much money I made from each one and the total amount of money I made from all 5 of them. So with all that out of the way, let's jump right into it. Before we jump into the video, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder that everything is recorded live over on my Twitch, and I stream pretty much every day starting around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have any questions related to my videos or just the game in general, feel free to click the link in the description, stop by, and hang out for a bit. We've also got a community Discord, so if that interests you, that'll be linked below as well. All right, so jumping right into this, like I said in the intro of this video, this is going to be 5 runs that I did with the red flare airdrops. Now, my initial plan was to go over to the lighthouse island, pop them there so I could loot them safe, run to the southern road extract, and be able to make it out 100% of the time, basically. Well, I quickly found out that if you pop a red flare on the lighthouse island, it will just drop on the shore of lighthouse off of the island. So if you're looking forward to going to Lightkeeper and getting over to the island and popping off all your red flares that you've been hoarding, just know it does not work. So jumping right in, we're going to be taking a look at run number 1. This one was decent overall. We got a common airdrop, and as you can see on the screen right now, I've got a picture of everything that I took. Keep in mind, during these runs, I'm only taking the things that are really worth taking. I'm not trying to grab every single item possible. A lot of the times you're going to get a bunch of junk in these things, so I wouldn't worry too much about taking everything possible. So in this one, we got some good stuff. We got a redut, an MPPV, can of Tashanka, NaCl, cricket lighter, power filter, and PS ammo. Now the big ticket here is going to be that power filter. I think at the time I sold it, it was sitting around 450k, so that was a pretty good one slot item there. But all in all, we sold everything for 639,202 rubles. So honestly, not a bad way to start it off. If I remember correctly, I didn't really take a whole lot from this. I feel like there was some more things that I could have taken, but I just grabbed what I could quickly because I was kind of out in the open and I didn't want to end up dying. By the way, we did end up not dying on any of these runs. However, I did come close at one point, but we'll get into that here in a little bit. So overall, the first run, common airdrop type, sold everything for about 640k. Not bad at all. All right, moving on to run number 2. This time we got a medical supply drop, and we ended up selling all the items for 594,814 rubles. Now this one we got a lot of food items, some med stuff, but mostly food. Big ticket item here was the sugar, but I did not include that in the sold items price because I accidentally ate all of it instead of listing it on the flea market. So I'm an idiot and I did that. So honestly, we should have been sitting at around 700k, but I'm dumb. I ate the sugar. Not the first time I've done that. Probably not the last. Couple of key things to note in this one. We got an SJ9, a Meldonin, couple Serve 12 kits, the gas mask air filter, couple of good items, but nothing like super crazy. If you guys didn't know, in these medical airdrops, you do have a chance at getting a LEDX, so keep that in mind. Overall though, we sold everything for around 600k, which is not bad at all. 2 runs in, we're already sitting at over a mil, which honestly, I'm pretty happy with. Next up is going to be run number 3, but before we get into the numbers and showing you guys all the items, kind of had a funny encounter on this one. We ended up getting shot at by a guy, and I'll just let the rest of the clip play out so you guys can see what happened.
Marlon says 7 vigintillion 7 trillion 777 trillion 777 billion 777 million 777,777.
That was funny. Motherfucker, dude. Well, now I gotta sit here and wait this guy out. Problem is, I don't know which direction I got shot from. This guy's ruining my video, dude. Had to have gotten shot from down the beach or like over here. Bro just got folded by a scav. Oh my god. That's so funny to me. That's instant karma for camping that airdrop. Holy shit. Anyways, RIP to that bozo. Let's get into the numbers of run number 3. So run number 3 is going to be a standard supply airdrop, and this one was pretty good. We ended up getting some big ticket items like the fuel, Tetris, fuel conditioner, a bunch of small stuff that's worth decent money. I grabbed the propane thinking that they were still selling for around 40k, but they ended up being like 16 or 17 a piece, so I really shouldn't have grabbed those, but in my head I thought they were worth more. So we ended up selling all of this for 893,161 rubles, and all in all, that is not too bad. Moving on to run number 4. This is actually our biggest one as far as money made. Again, another supply airdrop, and we got some pretty big ticket items. In this one, we got the air filter, the sledgehammer, thermometer, another power filter, and then a couple of 1-slot barter items. We ended up selling everything for 1,037,691 rubles, and the combination of the air filter, power filter, and the sledgehammer was a big chunk of that by itself. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to be making this much money with these airdrops. I really thought I was going to open these things up and get a bunch of junk out of them, but a lot of the stuff that we were getting was not too bad. But anyways, run number 4 was definitely our biggest one. So now we're going to move on to run number 5. Run number 5, honestly, not that great. We got some guns, an SJ6, some good ammo. A lot of this stuff you can't really sell on the fleet, and it doesn't make sense to sell it to the traders like M80 and stuff like that, M855A1. So I did end up keeping some of the good ammo. I did keep the M80, I did keep the 55A1 and the AS-Val BP ammo, but anything that I could sell on the fleet, I did end up doing that. So we ended up selling it all for 484,499 rubles. If a lot of these items weren't flea market banned, that number would have been a lot higher. But all in all, still not a bad run. We still made almost 500k off of an airdrop, so I can't complain too much. All right, so that is all 5 runs that we did. As you can see, we made a pretty good amount of money, and if we scroll down to the total here, that is going to be 3,649,367 rubles. Now, in all honesty, if you look at this from a time invested standpoint, you would probably make more money just like scavving somewhere or playing a normal raid. I want to say that these 5 runs took me about 2 hours to do, but keep in mind, I was going on Lighthouse. I was running all the way over to the island, doing a little bit of looting there, shooting the airdrop off, waiting for it to come down. So my raids did take a little bit longer. It's not like I was spawning in somewhere, running to an extract, popping it, grabbing the stuff, and leaving. I was not doing it as fast as I possibly could. So just something to think about. So I went ahead and averaged this out, but I kind of did the math wrong, so I'm not going to scroll down to that. I've got the new number on my phone here. I know I said this took me about 2 hours, but I went ahead and did the math for 2.5 hours. If you want to include like being in my stash, doing some other stuff, roughly 2 to 2.5 hours. Doing these runs with the red flares and the airdrops, I was making about 1.4 million per hour. So honestly, that's not too bad. There's not a lot of runs in the game that you can do that make you that much money. Obviously, if you go to streets, that's probably the closest you're going to get. But also keep in mind, this does depend on whether or not you survive. So that's going to do it. There's my 5 runs with the red flares. Maybe we'll do another 5 runs in the future just for fun. I do still have 5 red flares, so who knows? Maybe we'll see. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see me do this again. But I hope if you're new to this game, this helped you get an idea of what the airdrops are all about. And I hope you guys who have been hoarding them for a long time actually start using them. And before you click off this video, let me know down in the comments what is the best thing you've gotten out of an airdrop. Me personally, it's honestly just the power filters. I don't do airdrops very often. Never got a LEDX, never got a GPU. I'm lame. You guys have probably gotten way better things than I have. So let me know down below what's the best thing you've gotten out of an airdrop. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.